Welcome to episode 12 of the Unlockable podcast. Today, Hannah and I are taking a look back at 2020. What games came out, the good, the bad, some of our favorite games that we played in 2020, and we even take a look at the retro prices that have just been going absolutely insane since the pandemic began. And after we wrap that up, we're talking about the year that we're currently in and what it may or may not have in store for us. Hannah gives some really solid predictions, and in 12 months, we're going to see what all she got wrong. Also, this is our longest podcast yet, so if you're new, this isn't how long we usually talk, but I think it's alright to have some longer episodes once in a while. Anyways, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, like it on YouTube, all that great stuff, and yeah, let's get into it. Welcome to episode 12 of the Unlockable podcast. We officially have a dozen episodes. Woo! I'm your host, Christian, and joining me as always is Hannah.
Hello.
I'm not sure why I paused there, but thanks for the woohoo there. Hannah, how was 2020?
It was rough. Not gonna lie, rough for everybody. What about you?
I was actually a pretty solid year for me. I'm not gonna lie. I graduated college, got myself a new job, but I know that for the rest of the world, it was not pretty.
Yes.
Not pretty at all. I enjoyed not having to go to school in person. I finished my classes online. I loved every minute of that.
I hate it. How could you like it?
I guess you don't have to commute like I do. You live on campus, sort of, or you live near campus.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. You like school, though, don't you?
I do like school, yeah. I like learning.
Yeah, you're a freaking nerd.
Yep.
So, do you want to start with, what have you been playing recently?
What have I been playing? Okay, well, I don't think I've really been playing that much since the last podcast. I think I talked about last time playing a little bit of Spyro, which I did, and I've been playing a little bit more. But the only other game I've played is Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys, and I'm in love with it. It was so much fun.
Was that a chef kiss there?
Yes, chef kiss. That's actually one of the games that you got me for Christmas. Thank you very much. That's the only other Ys game I've played besides 8, and it's a 2D game instead of a 3D game, like 8, and it was really difficult at first. Like, I think I died 50 times in just like in the first dungeon area before I actually figured out how to do things. It was hysterical. It's like, oh my god, either I'm super bad at this game or it's just that hard. But I figured it out and I beat it the other night, and oh my god, it was so much fun.
You said about 10 hours, right?
It was about 10 hours, yeah. But I'm sure if you actually know what you're doing, it would have been a lot quicker.
I was looking at people commenting on your Instagram posts about the game, and they were like, yeah, you really have to grind at the beginning and stuff. Did you feel like that was true?
Yeah, but like grinding didn't take very long. Like, I think I grinded for like an hour and a half, maybe, if you get to the right spot. Like, if you're in the beginning and you're killing like bugs, which give you like 3 XP, then yeah, it's gonna take a long time. But if you grind at like the perfect time, there's like 6 or 7 enemies there right at the beginning, and then you can get really, really fast. But it wasn't anything compared to the level of grinding of like modern RPGs. Like, oh my gosh, that's hours and hours and hours of grinding.
I'm so glad that you liked it. And speaking of Christmas, man, I got your Christmas gift a hot minute after Christmas, but it was well worth the wait because you are just incredible. For the audience who may or may not follow me on social media, I got an amiibo, a custom Bird Dog Gaming amiibo based on Duck Hunt.
Yes.
The Duck Hunt amiibo. Hannah it's the second time that you have crafted something, or no, you have painted an amiibo for me that was specific to like me and my personality and everything, and I freaking love this amiibo so much. You are amazing for that.
You are very welcome. I know you don't like amiibo. But it didn't stop there.
It didn't stop there because you made a freaking NES cartridge, and it looks so good. You guys have to go see it. It's on my Instagram and Twitter. Please go check it out. She got me that, and she got me a bunch of other crap. Freaking Yoshi's Story, Super Turrican. We were just talking about how in the last episode that I have not played Yoshi's Story, and you got it for me, and I am pumped to play both of those games, honestly.
I am pumped for you to play Yoshi's Story because I think that's one of the best Yoshi games ever. It's a travesty that you haven't played it yet.
It sure is a travesty. There are a few N64 games that I still really want, and I don't know. I didn't even know I wanted Yoshi's Story, but I'm glad that I have it now.
Well, you have it now,
definitely gonna play it.
No excuses.
But please continue. Are you playing anything else?
That's really it, honestly. I mean, I was super obsessed with these for a long time. Maybe for that whole weekend, I was like, gotta play. Even if I died over and over and over, I was like, I gotta finish this game. Gotta know what happens.
I'm not sure that I knew that you had the SNES Junior. That is a super cool little console.
Oh, is that what it's called? A Junior?
That's like the name on the street that people call it.
On the street,
yeah.
I've had that for a while now, but I've actually never played on it, so I'm glad it works.
Nice, I'm glad it worked. Alright, so what have I been playing? Honestly, short list this week. Usually I'm playing a ton of stuff, but I got Call of Duty, and I've been playing the heck out of Call of Duty because my friends got it, and we're just loving it. But, you know what I did play? I beat the first Ninja Gaiden, and I deserve all the respect because that game was unbelievably hard.
Really?
So please bow down. I beat Ninja Gaiden.
Well, see, I know nothing about that, but I'll give you a few claps. Can you hear those tiny little claps in the background?
This is a really freaking hard game. It's just so unfair. Like, I talked about Castlevania 3 a few months ago, and that was a tough game, but I feel like it was fair. Ninja Gaiden is one of those platformers where if you go to the right 2 inches, then all the enemies reappear, and it's just so ridiculous.
I wonder if they
not
did
sure
that on
why
purpose.
I'm feeling like... Yeah, I also wonder that. I've played the third Ninja Gaiden game. It's also tough, but in a fair way. So the reason you can beat the first Ninja Gaiden is because there are unlimited continues. The last Ninja Gaiden is tough in a fair way, but there are not unlimited continues. So different levels of difficulty.
Interesting. Well, congrats on beating that. I didn't realize it was such a hard game.
Yeah, we were gonna play. Oh, that's another thing we've been playing. We started playing Donkey Kong together.
Oh
yeah. But yeah, I texted you. I was like, "Let's play Donkey Kong," and then I was like, "Okay, I will have this freaking boss beaten by the time she gets back from the store, and then we can play." But no, it did not happen. Stuck on the last boss for hours. I didn't even finish it that day.
You didn't?
No, I came back a few days later and beat it.
Man, we should have played Donkey Kong.
What have you been buying?
What have I been buying? Actually, today I went to Walmart to check just to see if there were any clearance games or whatever, anything on sale, and there was. So I got Ni no Kuni for the Switch for $5, and I got
cheap.
Yeah, it was really cheap. It was surprising that there were any left. And then I also got Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night for $15. And since I'm getting into 2D games, I figured I might try it, especially for $15. I mean, any Switch game for $15 is kind of a bargain, honestly. What else did I get? Oh, and then I got I've been looking for this for a super duper long time, but it's Adventure for the Atari, the original one.
Oh yeah.
And a few years ago, like when I first started getting into collecting and the book Ready Player One came out, I was reading it, and there's an Easter egg like in the, I don't know if you consider it an Easter egg in the book, but there's a mention of it in the book, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. There's like a secret little area where the developer put his name. I was like, I have to find that. And then coincidentally the same year, my aunt gave me one of those Atari flashbacks. So I had one heck of a time trying to find that Easter egg, but it was so worth it. It's just so cool. It's like a little piece of gaming history. So I wanted that cartridge, and I actually found it for cheap too. It was like $3.
Where, on eBay?
No, I went to a game store in Orlando recently.
Wow, look at you.
I know. I was very excited.
Buying an Atari cartridge. You played a Super Nintendo game. Who is she?
I know. I'm getting retro.
Well, cool.
And
Orlando sounds like such a a getaway place, but it's like probably what, an hour drive for you?
It's about 2 hours, but yeah. It was very nice. There's a lot of game stores in Orlando, actually. They're all over the place.
Yeah, you would think a big place like Houston would have some good ones.
You guys have plenty.
Nope.
Texas has more than we do.
Texas, but not Houston.
True. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I need to take a trip out to Dallas or Austin or something and just have a field day, go into different stores.
Yeah, you should. Go to all the, crap, what's that store called? Oh, Half Price Books.
What have I been buying? Today I got something about 20 minutes ago, right before we started this episode. I went to check the mail. I got a Rayman disc in the mail. It's a PC game of Rayman 2, but it came packaged with L'Oreal Kids shampoo. And there is a nice L'Oreal Kids shampoo logo right on the front of this disc. And I don't know why. I don't know what kid like brought this disc. I don't know. I feel like some of these discs had to have made it into the shower by mistake, right? Like, I want to see the original packaging, but all I got was the disc. I don't know why this exists, but I love it.
Why shampoo? Of all the things.
I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, there was just a promo going on with Ubisoft and L'Oreal. I don't know. I feel like I saw that on a magazine advertisement or something.
Ubisoft did some weird collaborations.
There's a really weird Skechers one too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't freaking know why that exists, but hey, that came all the way from Canada and arrived today.
Wow.
I got me a couple of Saturn games. I don't know who the heck I am. I got Panzer Dragoon, the first one, for a pretty darn good price on eBay. And then I got Nights into Dreams the same day from a guy on Instagram for probably half of what it's worth. I don't know why he was selling it for that cheap, but I didn't ask any questions. Both
Do they work?
Great.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And then the last thing, I didn't buy a whole lot since the last podcast, but I bought Powerpuff Girls Mojo Jojo A Go-Go complete in box on the Game Boy Advance, which took me a year to find, so pretty darn happy with that purchase.
Man, you really like your Dexter's Laboratory and your Powerpuff Girls, huh?
I finally have the trifecta. Yeah, I have both games that go into that combo pack, so pretty neat.
That is exciting. I'm happy for you.
Thanks. Let's talk news. What do you got for us?
All right. News. So, first and foremost, the most exciting, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury received a trailer on Twitter and YouTube and all of that. And it was just kind of dropped in the middle of nowhere, like most things Nintendo's doing now. And
True.
I played 3D World, but everyone knows my opinion on it. But I watched the trailer and I still don't understand what Bowser's Fury is. Did you see it?
I think I did finally go and watch it, or I skimmed through it. I don't know what's going on. Like, all the jokes about it being a big, like, the Pokemon Mega, like, Sword and Shield, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
What are they called? Mega Battles? No, Dynamaxing. Dynamax Bowser. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, so I don't know if it's like extra levels or like it makes the levels more difficult and then there's like a boss battle at the end. I have no idea. But I mean, it's Mario, so I mean, it can't be bad. And then along with that, Nintendo also announced a new Super Mario Switch, which is red and blue, but the system itself is red. So the dock is red, the system's red, and the Joy-Cons are red. But the Switch grip is blue, so when you put the controllers in the Switch grip, it looks like Mario's overalls. I don't know if you noticed that. I thought that was neato.
I did not notice that, but those are the first different grips, I feel like. I don't know, Animal Crossing probably had some different ones.
You know what? I actually don't know that, but yeah. I think it might be the first ones. I don't know. Anyway.
Very cool.
Nintendo has not come out with a lot of Switch variety, so that was fun to see. And next, there are new physical My Nintendo rewards on the website, and some of them are actually pretty cool. So the one that I really liked, I didn't get, but I just thought it was cool. There's a Smash, or Super Smash Brothers stationery set, so you can, send the letter, the invitation to anyone you want. I thought that was kind of cool. You know how, in the trailers, it's, always a letter?
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
And then I think there's also Splatoon and Mario keychains. I think those sold out already, so if you're listening to this, sorry. But yeah, there's stuff like that. So always check back to make sure to see if there are new ones. Because there's...
Is the Smash letter an actual physical thing, or is it digital?
No. It's an actual stationery set. So it's the paper and the envelope and the sticker, all of it.
I kind of love that.
It is neato. So yeah, always check their website to see, because they're always going in and out of stock, and there's always new ones sometimes. And then a big one that just happened is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is getting a physical release from Limited Run Games.
Woo!
Yeah, this must be one heck of a game, because everyone seems to be excited for it. I never understood the appeal. Did you?
No, we were talking about it last night. I have no idea. I didn't see the movie, but I'm sure that it's just an unbelievable beat 'em up because people rant and rave about it.
So it's finally happening for all of you Scott Pilgrim fans. And next is new Pokemon Snap for the Switch gets a new trailer, and it gets some new details and a release date, which is April 30th of this year. Also, it's $60.
I mean, I expected it to be $60.
Yeah. I don't know. Of course, Nintendo's going to charge $60, but I'm just hoping it's worth $60, you know? Because honestly, to me, I never played the first Pokemon Snap, but it seems to me like walking around taking pictures of Pokemon. You know, I can do that in Pokemon Go. You know?
Yeah, I agree. All I did was rent it as a kid. I never owned it. I remember, you sit in a... Did you play Captain Toad?
No.
Okay, you sit in a roller coaster type thing, but going slow, and you're just... It's like a safari, and you're taking pictures. I don't know. It doesn't seem fun to me. I don't remember it very well.
It doesn't seem like a $60 game to me, but of course they're going to charge it if they can. But the game...
They're really hitting the nostalgia bone for people, and that's all it takes. $60 gone.
I watched the trailer. I mean, the world itself and the Pokemon and the environment, they look good. They look cool. And a lot of people are comparing them to Pokemon Sword and Shield graphics, and they're not happy about it. They're like, you can do this with Pokemon Snap, but you can't do it with Sword and Shield. Are you kidding me? Which is, it's fine. I liked Sword and Shield. I don't see a problem with it. But then again, I'm not a hardcore Pokemon fan. And unsurprisingly, the Switch has been the best-selling console in the US for 25 months in a row. Now, how crazy is that?
That's amazing, especially... I don't know if that includes November of 2020. Do you know what that goes through?
No. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it does go through November. Because it was just...
So it outsold the PS5 and Series X?
I believe so.
Interesting.
I mean, I read it somewhere, so it has to be true, right? I'm pretty sure that's true.
Well, regardless, really happy for Nintendo.
Yeah.
We definitely know what caused the 2020 sales to skyrocket, but we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm. You're up.
I had one point of news. This just happened today. The new prices for Xbox Live are all over Twitter. People complaining. Even the diehard Xbox fans are complaining. The 1 and 3 month plans are now $11 and $30 respectively, up $1 and $5 respectively. And the 6 month membership used to cost $40, now it's $60. When there's no longer... What did you write here? And when there's no longer a 12-month membership, you'll be looking at $120 a year if you insist on gold. So this is basically people... Xbox is trying to force everyone to move to Game Pass. I think they're aware that the Xbox Live price is a little ridiculous. You can spend $15 to get Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass for 1 month, which if you just want Xbox Live for $11, it's really just not worth it. And I think that's what they want people to see. From a marketing standpoint, I'm sure they're seeing like, oh, everybody's going to complain at first, but after a few weeks, everyone's just going to move to Xbox Game Pass. We'll get your money anyway, so just stop complaining. I don't know how I feel about it because I already pay for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I love it. But something I saw on Twitter today is it's ridiculous that Xbox makes you pay for free-to-play games online. So Fortnite on the Switch or on PlayStation, you don't have to pay for the Switch Online membership or PlayStation Network. All you have to do is download the free game and you can play online for free. But Xbox has never been about that. So it makes a free game a $120 a year game.
Oh my God.
Which is just ridiculous.
I did not know that.
Is that true for Nintendo? You wouldn't know because you've always paid for it. I wouldn't know either.
No, you can certainly play free-to-play games without Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know why Xbox is like that. It's ridiculous.
That is crazy. I did not know that. Why aren't more people angry about that?
Well, I think that's it. We got the news. We got the been buying, been playing. Are we ready to move into the topic at hand?
Yes.
So what are we talking about today, Hannah?
So this episode is going to be a 2020 year in review, and it's also going to be a wish list and a predictions list for 2021.
Woo, we made it through 2020.
Yes, and 2021 starting great.
Overall, I would say 2020 was pretty solid for gaming. Lots of delays, lots of things canceled, but overall, I think we had some pretty great games come out. Pretty dry year for Nintendo, but overall, a pretty decent year in gaming.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things were affected, though. It wasn't as good as it could have been, I think.
Oh, we didn't look up 3DS, but was there a new 3DS game in 2020, or was the last one out in 2019? Things we should have looked up
I know.
prior.
I don't know. I didn't buy any in 2020, but it doesn't mean there weren't any come out. When did Luigi's Mansion, the first one, come out for the Switch? Is that 2019?
Yeah. Oh. Luigi's Mansion 3?
No. Luigi's...
Oh, you said Switch.
Oh, did I? Whoops.
I don't remember when Luigi's Mansion came out. Oh, well, if Luigi's Mansion 3 came out in 2019, then the first Luigi's Mansion on 3DS definitely came out before that.
Let's see. Definitely should look that up. Luigi's Mansion 3DS. Why aren't you giving me the other one? Well, the other one was released in 2013. Nope, it was 2018. Wow, we're 2 years behind.
What was 2018, Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, for the 3DS.
All right.
Well, cut that all out. Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. So what I want to talk about is, first we're going to start with 2020 year in review, and I want to start by talking a little bit about what's going on in the retro space. So retro games, if you don't collect or whatever, that's fine. Maybe you want to skip this section, but I think it's super interesting to take a look at the numbers. Things have been crazy in 2020. A lot of it is due to the stimulus check that people got. You know, people got, what was it, like $1,200? I
think something like that, yeah.
People in the U.S. got $1,200 from the government to exist, and a lot of people just blew it on video games, I guess, because the prices went through the roof right around April. And I went through Game Value Now and got a bunch of numbers for us to look at. So hope you're ready for this. It's going to be exciting. It's going to blow your socks off.
I'm ready.
But here we go. So starting with GameCube, because this has just been a terrible year if you wanted to get into GameCube collecting. I think way too many people got into GameCube collecting at the wrong time. But the average complete in box GameCube game in December of 2019, pre-pandemic, $16.20, right? That's kind of like that's kind of what I would expect a GameCube game to be, because that's what it's been for years. They're always kind of more expensive than PS2 and Xbox. They just are. It's Nintendo. It's always like that. But fast forward 5 months, and the pandemic has hit. And I should have looked up when the actual stimulus check came, but let's say it came in like April. People are bored at home. They got nothing to do. Coronavirus is spreading. There's lockdowns and everything. So April 2020, the average complete in box GameCube game skyrockets to $24. So it went up $8. Skyrocket was not the right word there. By June, though, prices had almost doubled, reaching roughly $30 per game complete in box.
Oh my
Absolutely
gosh.
insane. So I got some noteworthy titles that we can mention here. The first one is the worst one. It is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which everyone has watched this game go up and up and up, and I don't know when it's going to stop. December 2019, $51 game. That's kind of like what we're used to. It's always been kind of pricey, but people think it's worth it because it's an awesome 40-hour game, whatever. June 2020, $114 for your complete in-box Paper Mario.
And that's conservative, because I've seen listings on eBay for $200+.
It has peaked. It peaked in August, and remember, these are all according to Game Value Now, so take it with a grain of salt, but it peaked in August at $121. If you want to go buy this game today, January 22nd, 2021, it is currently $100.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. It is one of the most common games on the GameCube. There were millions printed. Millions. Obviously, if you just want to play it, you can get it disc only for cheaper, but $100 for the complete in box black label copy of Paper Mario.
$100. Oh my
There's
god.
absolutely no reason that this game should be triple digits.
Good lord. How much are the rare games then?
I have two quote unquote rare games here, but let's move on to Twilight Princess, December 2019. $45. That one's always been more expensive than the Wii version. It was like one of the very last GameCube games, if not the last. And June 2020 hits, it's $80. I don't know why. Another really common game. And this one, I guess, is on the rise, because if you want to buy it today, $91.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that one.
Truly unbelievable. If you have a Wii, please just go play it on the Wii. I don't think the motion controls are that bad. Just suck it up.
It's like $5 on the Wii.
Or
Literally.
the Wii U even.
Yeah, that's true. That one's not even that expensive, I don't think.
I didn't check, but yeah. Next up, Super Mario Sunshine. Classic, right? It's November 2019. It's a $41 game. That's totally acceptable and understandable. June 2020, $71.
Oh my god.
Today, it has dropped down quite a bit. You can go get the game for $48, according to Game Value Now.
That's probably even more common than Twilight Princess is. It's a Mario game.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
100%. It's a Mario game that didn't come out on 2 platforms. So, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So this one, we've always known this to be an expensive game. It's always been like, oh yeah, I don't feel like spending $150. November 2019, it was $134, as to be expected. June 2020, it was 7 months later. It was $222. Oh my goodness! Another game that I would not call rare at all. It is maybe uncommon, but there are probably millions of copies out there, I would say, and it peaked in July at $250 for some reason. I'm telling you, I think it was the stimulus check. I think these people were like, man, I'm bored at home. Give me something to do. Let me spend $250 on Path of Radiance.
Oh my gosh. Well, Path of Radiance is certainly more rare than uncommon. I think.
I don't know.
Still,
if I get on eBay right now, there's probably 30 copies.
Okay, but that's still not very common.
I don't know.
But that's still crazy. Those prices. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Please don't pay that. Please don't pay that much.
Please don't.
It'll go down again, like it always does.
It is currently $233. I'm sure that it will go down. I don't know. If I were to make a prediction right now, I'd say it'll go back down to $150, $175, and it'll stay there for a while. But yeah, maybe be patient and not pay $233.
Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Last one for the GameCube that I wrote down is Cubivore, a truly rare game that should be charging hundreds of dollars. It is November, it was $273, and in June it had gone up to $352 complete in box.
Sheesh.
It peaked a couple months later in September at $392. Totally ridiculous, and currently you can get it for $348. Cubivore is known for being one of the rarest and most expensive games on the platform. It's up there with Gotcha Force. I just wanted to add it in here for perspective. So people aren't just buying the Marios and the Zeldas. People are also buying the rare games with their $1,200 stimulus check or whatever it is. So I don't know. I can't pinpoint what it is that really forced these prices up so high.
But, I don't know. People are just bored, I guess.
The hobby is growing for sure, and on top of that, we've got investors coming in, buying up all the sealed games, the games that they know are worth a lot. But when I think of investors coming into the hobby, I really think of black box NES games, the original NES games that people have always been wanting. We've been seeing Mario sell for ridiculous prices lately, $100,000 and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know why people are making Cubivore shoot up in price because of a pandemic. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, yeah, Pokemon cards are doing the exact same thing.
Oh gosh, Pokemon is insane right now. It's on fire.
It is on fire.
Alright, I got Nintendo 64 here. I did loose for this one. I think there's definitely more loose collectors. You're not going to collect GameCube games loose. That's inhumane. But Nintendo 64, in November, the average game loose cost $16.62. But in April, it had jumped up to about $21, $22. Currently, the game's average loose costs are $23. So, pretty good little jump there. It was $16 last November, or 2 Novembers ago, and now it's $23. I wrote down a couple of noteworthy games here. We got the Gray Ocarina of Time cartridge. It was $21 in November. By May, doubled that. It was $42.
Really?
Ocarina of Time Gold cartridge had a nice little jump. It was $42 in November and went to $58 in April. And it peaked it peaked at $81.
Holy
just for that gold paint job on the on the N64 cartridge.
Man, I didn't know that.
And that one hasn't come down a whole lot. It's currently $63. Do you have that one gold?
I do not have that one gold, no. I have Majora's Mask gold.
I don't have either one gold, but definitely a cool one to have. Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut, a truly rare game on the platform, kind of rare. $385 December of 2019. It's always been a $300-something game. By April of 2020, $450. Currently, $580.
Oh, it's not even a good game. I don't understand.
Terrible game, apparently. I haven't played it, but not understanding. Some more games that people grew up with. Mario Kart 64, $27 game in November of 2019. Now, honestly, I thought that was kind of low. I feel like this game's always been kind of like $30 or $40, but I don't know. I guess 40 or 50 is what I meant to say. But April of 2020, it was a $51 game, and now you can get it for $36.
Sheesh.
Moving on, we got Mario 64, $24 game. It doubled by April of 2020, and it was $50, and now it's down to $28. Probably the most common game on the platform, and it doubled in value, so I don't understand.
Definitely the most common one.
Came with every N64 out there. Banjo Kazooie is the last one I got on here. This one did not have a huge price jump, but it did have a little jump. It was $23 in November and $34 in April of 2020, and it's pretty much held that value. Currently, you can get it for the same price.
Man, I should have sold my copy a few months ago.
And I just have some consoles averages here. So the average complete in box PlayStation 2 game doubled. It went from $8 to $16. Currently, it's at $14. Now, that's kind of wild to me. PlayStation 2 has always been the console that is like dirt common, dirt cheap. Everything's cheap on that platform except for, they have their rare horror games or whatever. But I thought it was pretty crazy to see PS2 on fire a little bit there.
Man, people are getting nostalgic, I guess.
Exactly. PlayStation 1 had a 250% increase in price. They went from $7 average complete in box to $25. That is a pretty big jump there. And the Super Nintendo went from $22 to $30 for average loose games, and it's currently still at $30.
Man.
So I don't know what's going on. Nothing is staying by a trend of any sort. What do you think? Will we see prices go back down to what they were?
Yeah, probably. I mean, once people go back to work, they're like, nah, I'm gonna sell all these. I don't have any time to play them anymore.
I think you're right about that. I think that no prices are gonna go down to where they were exactly. I do think that it's gonna be a little bit more. The prices will be a little bit more than what they were pre-COVID, but yeah, I do think a lot of these people who got into this for nostalgic purposes during COVID are only in it temporarily, and I do think that they are going to bounce out of it as soon as they figure out that they can get money for it and they don't have time to play it anymore,
Yep, I think, that's definitely the trend. I mean, prices fluctuate anyways, all the time. So, yeah, I think it'll go back down. Maybe even lower, who knows?
So the thing we learned from this section is do not pay $348 for Cubivore.
Yes.
And do not spend $250 on Fire Emblem.
Yes.
It's tough, though, because Fire Emblem is a game a lot of people want to play, and it is exclusive to the GameCube still.
Yeah, I would like... Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I would like to see, wink, wink, something like that come to the Switch, wink, wink.
Are you saying that our next section is... Hang on, let me scroll. What is our next section here? Year in review, so we're not even there yet. Never mind. Alright, so let's talk about some conventions and conferences that got canceled. Obviously, E3 was canceled this year. I think that it is potentially coming to an end very soon. And the reason I say that is because PlayStation has dropped out of E3 entirely, and I'm not sure if Xbox and Nintendo are going to follow suit. I think Nintendo was going to not go to E3 regardless this year, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember that, but maybe.
Do you think E3 is coming to an end soon?
I want to say I hope not. And I want to say that Sony pulled out of E3 just because they didn't have anything to show. But I truly think that Nintendo likes going there, and they like presenting their things, and they like letting people be immersed in their worlds. I mean, you've seen it. The sets that they make are amazing. But you're probably right. I don't want you to be right, but you probably are. I mean, they can reach the same amount of people if they do directs or whatever the other ones are called. State of play or whatever. They can reach the same amount of people if it's digital, but I don't know. I just thought I would like to go to one.
Yes,
So
dude, I want to go. You and I need to go together before it's too late.
Yes, so I really hope if they're gonna quit, it's not anytime soon.
Yeah. Other than that, we had PAX got canceled. Literally, I'm not even going to go through the list. Everything got canceled or moved to online this year, last year. And then we watched the Game Awards together. It was also known as the Last of Us Part 2 Awards.
Yeah.
But it was there. It still existed. It was online. But yeah, I don't want this to be a normal thing at all. I want gaming conventions, or these aren't like, I don't know. I guess they are conventions, but I want these things to still exist in person. I don't know. I think everything is moving to more digital, and I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm not a fan either. I mean, that's what we've been fighting this entire time. Boo digital. But yeah, hold out just a little bit longer so I get to actually experience some of them, please.
Have we had an E3 with Doug Bowser?
You know, I don't think we have.
I don't remember. He might have did 2018 or 2019.
Maybe. I remember him being in the direct. I don't know if it was an E3 direct, but it was like, oh, Bowser's the new, or whatever, president of America. I'm president of Nintendo America, not America.
Are you getting political out here, Hannah?
No. Nintendo of America's president, or is that his title? Anyway, there was Bowser in it, and then Bowser's like, me? And then Doug Bowser's like, no, me. And Bowser's like, me? That was just so fun. I don't know if that was E3, though.
It was nice seeing our boy Reggie at the Game Awards, though.
It was nice. I hope he continues to be a host or a announcer.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever he is, I hope he continues it.
Yeah, same.
Alright, moving along. So let's talk about some notable games that came out in 2020.
Yes.
I got my little Excel sheet here.
I know, you're so official with your Excel sheet. I don't even have that pulled up.
I'm gonna start talking if you want to pull it up.
Yes.
We can, let's do this by release date. So, these are 27 titles that I thought were like AAA titles that were important enough to make it onto this list. Maybe not AAA, but they were pretty big titles. Just going to talk about a few of the ones that we actually played and care about, and things like the first one here, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, that we haven't played. Probably just going to skip right over that. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and then Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which I could have sworn you bought, but I guess not.
I did not buy it. No, I wanted to buy it. I have it on the Wii U, but I haven't played it.
So is it Sharp FE, or is it... I think it's a Sharp. It's not a hashtag. Tokyo Mirage
I don't
Sessions.
know. I just say FE. I just ignore the hashtag. Maybe it's number FE. I don't know.
We had Ori and the Will of the Wisps come out in March, which I played the first one, have not played the second one yet. It's pretty awesome series. And Animal Crossing and Doom released on the same day after both of them had been delayed, right? So you brought this up last night. Both games had been delayed, and then they ended up coming out on the same day, March 20th, 2020.
Yeah. Delayed not because of COVID, though, just because.
Right. So what a freaking day that was, though, because our friends over at GameStop, they said, hey, we're going to keep our doors open in the middle of this pandemic, and we are an essential business, and GameStop is going to go down in history as the company that stayed open for Animal Crossing New Horizons despite the world going to heck on March 20th, 2020.
Yep, and they actually stayed open.
I had my Animal Crossing pre-ordered, and they let us come in on the Thursday before the game released, and yeah, there was no line. Nobody even knew about it. It was just kind of like on the down low, hey, this GameStop let me get it a day early and spread the word. And yeah, my girlfriend and I went and got our copies of the game on that Thursday. So that was pretty neat.
Lucky.
But 100% not supporting GameStop keeping their doors open that day. That was insane.
Yeah, that's sketch.
And it was hilarious because everybody knew that they were doing it because the cash inflow. And if they didn't do it, everybody would have canceled their pre-order and gone to Amazon. Every single person.
That's true. Very true. I mean, they could have just shipped everything, though. I don't understand.
GameStop's all weird about the shipping. I don't know. I rarely pre-order from GameStop, though. I like that you do Best Buy. I want to do Best Buy more.
I like Best Buy, and I think Best Buy's got a good system.
Doom Eternal, though, fantastic game. Definitely one of the best I played in 2020, and I love both Doom and Doom Eternal. Then we had Half-Life Alyx. I threw this on here because, I don't know. It's Half-Life. I don't even know if anyone played this game, but it was a VR game. It's not Half-Life 3 like people have been wanting for decades. Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was a thing that we didn't play, but it came out, and it was a pretty big deal. Trials of Mana. I absolutely love this game. I'll talk more about it later. Streets of Rage 4, fantastic sequel to a long-dead franchise by Sega. Super happy that came out. And then we had Xenoblade Chronicles. You want to say anything about that one?
Well, technically I didn't beat Xenoblade Chronicles on the Switch. I beat it on the Wii U. But yeah, I played the Futures Connected. It was it looked amazing. I mean, compared to the first game where everyone's got like block fingers and block faces. It looked really good.
Last of Us Part 2. We don't need to talk about that. Pikmin 3 came out in July. I really did not know it's been that long. It's crazy.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
I don't think... Oh, sorry. I don't think a single person bought that game. I don't think anyone talked about Pikmin 3. Did you buy it?
No, I did not. It's a very niche series.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima. Huge game that we didn't play. Paper Mario, you played that one.
I did play that one, and I like it. And it's a controversial opinion, but I did. I liked it. It was fun. It was an enjoyable time.
And it won't cost you $200 complete in box.
There you go.
Fall Guys came out. I really would love to play that. I've been on my PS4 a lot more lately, so maybe I will get into some Fall Guys here soon. It looks like a blast. Battletoads was revived in a similar fashion to Streets of Rage 4. I did start playing that one. I haven't beat it yet, so I guess I'll wait to talk about it until I beat it. Wasteland 3, don't know anything about that game. Marvel's Avengers, kind of disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty excited to get this game. I got it like half off because I waited, and it just really is not the best game ever. I think the developers tried really hard. It's a Square Enix game, but the game is really repetitive. As a big Marvel fan, I was really looking forward to just falling in love with this game. The story's cool. I like the story. I like being able to play as different characters and everything, but I definitely think like it didn't get the same love and affection that Marvel's Spider-Man got back in 2018.
That's
unfortunately. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Yeah, actually, I should have mentioned this, but I just got this on PlayStation 4.
I'm
really,
jealous.
I started playing it, and it's a blast. I never played the first game, so it's pretty cool.
I'm super salty. I'm just angry over here.
Super Mario 3D All-Stars, of course, came out.
Yes. Did you get that one or no?
No, ma'am.
You better hurry up. It goes off the market in 2 months.
I love the memes about Nintendo closing the vault on March 31st for that game. It's hilarious.
And the vault doors are closing.
Godfall came out. There was Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. That one has been out so it came out on November 12th, and pretty highly regarded game. It was nominated for Game of the Year, I believe. Or maybe it did make the cut. But anyways, people love that game. I'll have to play that when I get a PS5 someday. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I heard that one's pretty good.
Oh my god, it's so good. So good. I have more to say about it, but I'll wait.
That's cool. Watch Dogs Legion. Don't care.
Nope.
Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. That is the full name. Pretty cool how that one got almost a physical release. Like they almost gave it the physical cartridge, but they just didn't.
They almost went all the way.
That game leaves the eShop on March 31st, but the good news is it's only $5, so I might even pick it up. Heck, I don't know.
I'm definitely going to get it.
Seems kind of fun. And the last game on this list to release in 2020 was Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh.
What a game it was.
Yeah.
So before we start talking about Cyberpunk, we had 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 of the games on this list out of 27 or 26 actually, were remakes or remasters. Interesting. I think a lot of people are begging for remakes and remasters of games right now. I think that it's kind of not my thing personally. I know I said I got the Tony Hawk thing, and I'm loving it, but I don't... I prefer new games to come out, and I think a ton of energy is just going towards remakes and remasters. But I know I'm kind of alone on that. I know you love them.
You are alone on that. I was about to say, I love them. Especially for people that have never played them before. It's like, if we get a remaster of Zelda Ocarina of Time, it's regarded as one of the best Zelda games ever. And some people aren't going to want to buy a 3DS or a Nintendo 64 to play it, But they brought it to the Switch. So many more fans, I think, of Zelda in general, the ones that got on board with Breath of the Wild, would play it. So it's not always just for people who've already played it.
I think being almost 25 years old has me thinking that literally everyone's played Ocarina of Time, but it's not true. There are plenty of 15-year-olds who weren't even alive for the 3DS version probably, who have not even played anything except Breath of the Wild, so I know what you mean.
Yep.
And then there were, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these 26 games were actually Switch games. I meant to count exclusives. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them were exclusives, and that includes Fire Emblem Shadow of the Dragon, which was not released physically. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw those numbers out there. I like numbers. I like lists.
You do like numbers.
But people said that Nintendo had a super dry year. I said that as well, but pretty decent year. They kind of released Animal Crossing and then were quiet for a long time, and people were like, "What's up, Nintendo?" But I think when we get into our 2021 predictions, I think we'll show how we feel about the upcoming Nintendo. I think they're really going to bounce back, and I mean, it sounds like they freaking are doing just fine. 25 months straight as the best-selling console. It sounds like they're doing all right.
Yeah, they're doing fine financially, for sure.
What's next? Where are we? Oh, we were going to talk about freaking Cyberpunk for a minute. But let's talk about all the games that got delayed in 2020. Do you want to go through those?
I can indeed go through those. So first, we have Halo Infinite, which I know a lot of Halo fans... I mean, that game's been delayed for forever, though, hasn't it?
So it was really supposed to come out in 2020, and that's why we threw it on this list. But I don't think it was due to COVID. I think it was just due to the extreme negative feedback that people said about the game and the graphics and everything whenever they released that first trailer, and that's why it got delayed.
That's unfortunate for Halo fans. And then next is Guilty Gear Strive, which I know absolutely nothing about. But that one was delayed. And then Tales of Arise, which I believe is the next game in the Tales of series. And then The Last of Us Part 2 was delayed, but still came out. And won a whole bunch of awards, and everyone's upset about it. Anyway, Marvel's Iron Man VR. You know about that one, don't you?
I don't know a single thing about the game, but I do know that it came out and got a 7 or something on IGN. It was kind of, maybe less, I don't know.
Well, that's also unfortunate. And then next is The Outer Worlds for the Switch release, which I actually have. It did come out in 2020, but that one was delayed. And then Ghost of Tsushima was also delayed, but still came out. And then Cyberpunk. Yay.
And that's just 8 games that we know. We were just kind of mentioning the top ones. But I read on Wikipedia, an estimated 1/3 of developers surveyed by the GDC conference stated that COVID-19 caused a delay of the games they were working on, a combination of the pandemic and the remote working conditions, which I totally believe.
Yeah, I believe that.
I mean, I imagine everything halted in March, April. Like, people didn't even know what was going on, and everyone had to switch over to digital. Yeah, I totally believe that.
People were freaking out. Oh my god, I don't want to get the Rona. Yeah, I get it. Totally believe it.
So on one hand, you've got games that got delayed for COVID and still came out in 2020, and they were amazing. You got The Last of Us Part 2, and you've got Ghost of Tsushima, which I haven't played either one, but they were both very highly regarded. And then you've got Cyberpunk, another game that neither of us have played, but we don't have to know. We don't have to play it to see
how awful it looks.
What kind of what the heck happened with this game. The glitches are unbelievable, and the game is truly incomplete. Right now there are about 25 people that actually have a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, so they're able to play it on their new consoles, but the rest of these people bought it for PS4 and Xbox One, and the game is not working well on these consoles.
It doesn't even work well on the Xbox One X, which is like the better one, which is sad. Yeah. So imagine how it runs on the PS4, which, I mean, it sucks. I mean, I understand why people are upset, because it was designed for the PS4 and the Xbox One, and it doesn't even run on those consoles.
At some point, this had to be just a ridiculously tough decision for the developers and everything, but at some point, it just got delayed so much, and it was delayed before COVID. COVID only made it worse, I think, but it was delayed in 2019 probably, and at some point, they just had to decide, like, okay, are we going to release this game on the consoles that we said we were going to release it on, or are we just going to move to the next generation? And I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I mean, They already had pre-orders, millions of pre-orders for the other consoles, so I don't think they had that option. They did their best in an impossible situation, truthfully, and I can't fault them for that. I think the game probably could have got delayed another 6 months, just based off what I've seen. But I don't know. They wanted to get it out for the holiday season, maybe, and it did not pay off.
No, it did not. It really didn't.
And it did not pay off in such a high regard that people were given refunds for probably the first time in history. I don't know. Maybe we talked about this a little on the last podcast, but
I think we might have. But that whole situation is crazy. I mean, Sony and Microsoft took it off of their store completely.
I just don't think even Fallout 76 did that bad. I think you brought that up. I don't even think Fallout did so bad that they had to give people refunds. It's insane.
Nope, so that's the biggest fail of 2020, Cyberpunk, unfortunately.
And quite possibly the greatest success of 2020, good old Animal Crossing.
Yes, Nintendo reigns supreme, always.
So like we were talking about with GameStop earlier, they had to keep their doors open, and that's because they probably had more pre-orders for this game than most other games they've ever sold in their life. No, I don't know. I think this was a lot of FOMO, right? So people were seeing how absolutely awesome the game was. They were on Twitter, and they were constantly on Twitter because they were in lockdown. Mm-hmm. And they're seeing all this Animal Crossing stuff. People are nonstop talking about it. And so many people had this FOMO, and they were like, I have to get a Switch. I don't care if it's a Switch Lite. I just have to play this game right now. And it was what kept people alive and busy during the pandemic.
It was the right game at the right
most
time.
People.
Yeah. Exactly. Not me, but other people had a lot of fun with it. And I think the hype has just now like died down recently. I mean, people are talking about the entire quarantine. Months. It seemed like everybody dropped off at the exact same time. I mean, I've played it once or twice in the past month, and I still love the game, but I don't know. I guess I got so much other crap to play.
But yeah, absolutely insane the impact that Animal Crossing has had on 2020 and on Nintendo. That really was the biggest thing Nintendo did last year, and it's just crazy. It's crazy stuff.
It is crazy. Right time, the right game at the right time, for sure.
We've joked about it before, but if Nintendo was found out to be the reason for coronavirus, I wouldn't be surprised. That was way too perfect how that game came out.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the next one on this list.
Okay, so the next one is Among Us became super duper huge, which is not surprising. But the game, you said, you did some research, you said the game actually came out in 2018.
It did.
And it just blew up in 2020. I mean, I love the game. I love watching people play the game. I mean, I don't watch like Twitch, or I don't watch people live stream, but I like watch the highlights of things, and it's hysterical. I mean, seeing them have as much fun as I know I had when I played with my friends, it's just enjoyable to watch. It really is.
This game is, I've played it a handful of times on my phone, but people that don't even game are having a blast with this freaking game.
Exactly. It's like it brings in casual players and hardcore players, and yeah.
Which is the same that can be said about Animal Crossing. Both of these games really just blew up.
Yeah, they did. Gamers didn't even know they were gamers. People discovering that they were gamers for the first time.
Fall Guys got huge too, for about a shorter time than Among Us and Animal Crossing for sure, but that game was huge for a minute.
That was earlier in the year though, wasn't it?
I don't even remember.
I don't hear anyone talking about it anymore, but it looks fun.
But other than that, another huge thing happened, and I think we talked about it a little bit in the last podcast, but 2 new consoles dropped.
Well, 3, but yeah.
2.5. You still cannot find them in stock 3 months later. So it's January 22nd right now. I think it's been 3.5 months. And, or maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's been 2 months, Christian. Anyways, PS5 and Xbox Series X, you're still having to follow people on Twitter just to see when a console's going to drop. You're still seeing people spend way more than $500 on them. It's crazy.
eBay listings for thousands and thousands of dollars, which is insane.
It's absolutely crazy. I'm really excited to get myself a new console, but I mean, even if they were in stock, I wouldn't be purchasing one because there's nothing. I mean, I could get Miles Morales if I had a PS5, but what would I get on Xbox? There's nothing that I can't play on my current console. Like, there's no reason to upgrade, and I don't understand why people are just dying to get these consoles right now.
I don't either. I mean, I guess just because they're, I don't know, they want their FOMO, like they want the next best thing. I don't know.
Right. Please drop a comment and tell me why.
Yeah. I went to Walmart today, and I don't know if this is a problem, but I didn't see any PS5 games either. Like, at all.
Interesting.
I didn't see any at all, and I went to like 3 Walmarts. I mean, you can tell what they are because they have the white logos, but nothing. Not a one.
We said 2.5 because another console came out. Nintendo's very new Game & Watch.
Yes.
Woo!
Super Mario Game & Watch. Now, those are more common than the PS5s and the Xbox.
You got one, right?
No, I don't have one. But
honestly, I think it's cool, but it's not something I would ever spend $50 on.
Yeah, it's not for me. And honestly, they're not even that rare. Like like I said, I was at Walmart's today, and I think I saw at least 30 of them. They're everywhere.
Stacks and stacks of them are up there, yeah. I don't have much to say about that thing, and it's a limited release, right?
I don't know.
Just like everything else for the Mario anniversary.
Limited in quotes. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Well, why don't you start with this next section? We're going to talk about games that we played in 2020. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that they came out in 2020, but we're going to talk about some of our favorite games from the year. So why don't you go ahead, because I've been talking for a minute.
Yes, so this was actually kind of hard to remember what I actually played, but Nintendo actually does give you like a year-by-year breakdown. And my most played game, which is not really that surprising, in 2020 was Breath of the Wild. This was also the year that I 100% completed it. So, how exciting. It came out, 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and I just now completed it. 100%.
I heard you talk about the Korok seeds so much in the first few episodes of the podcast, and then I felt like you didn't play the game anymore. And then here it is, 2020, your most played game.
Yes, well, it was bittersweet because I love that game so much, and now I don't necessarily have a reason to go back and play it, other than to do, like, what is it called, Master Mode, which I'm probably going to be garbage at. But, yeah, it was just enjoyable. Just, going in there, relaxing, and fighting enemies and finding Korok seeds. But, yeah, I 100% completed it. It took me over 400 hours, which now...
I think that is on the same level of respect as beating Ninja Gaiden, so congratulations. That was pretty amazing.
Thank you very much. I don't know if that makes me sound crazy for spending 400 hours in the game, but yeah. And then going back to the very beginning of the year, this year's been crazy, and I don't even remember that this being this year, but I played and beat Dragon Quest Builders 1, and then immediately after beating it, I went out and bought Dragon Quest Builders 2, but I never beat it. But I still put 60 hours into it. And
that was this year, then, man, it has been such a long year.
That was this year. I trust Nintendo. That's what they said. Said, yeah, you put a lot of hours into this. You played it. And then another one I played, as I mentioned earlier, Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. I started that, I think, in 2019, and then I took a really long break. And then I got back into it again when I heard that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition was coming out, and I was like, all right, now I have to beat this. So yes, I did. I beat that on the Wii, and you've heard me talk about that before. It was incredibly frustrating. And then I also got into a bunch of Team 17's games with Overcooked 2, and Moving Out. Those are excellent, excellent multiplayer games.
Excellent.
Absolutely amazing. Super fun. And casual gamers can play that too, or people that don't really play a lot of video games. I played with my two best friends, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. Absolutely hysterical, especially Moving Out. Moving Out, you will laugh so hard at that game. And then
I don't even know. The fact that they added a smack button in that game was a terrible idea, but I love it.
It's so funny. Get your stuff together. Smack. It's so funny. And then another game that I played, which is kind of surprising probably, is ARMS.
Oh my gosh, 2020 you played ARMS?
2020 I played ARMS. Me and my cousin really like playing that game. He likes it a lot, so I like playing it with him. That was fun. That was over Thanksgiving break, actually. And then next is Cadence of Hyrule, which I talked about last podcast, I believe. And then Age of Calamity, which I also talked about. Beat that one. That one's amazing. And some other releases that came out this year. Super Mario All-Stars. I played Mario 64 and Sunshine within the All-Stars game. Spyro, which I talked about. And then Paper Mario and the Origami King. And I think that's it. A lot of Switch stuff.
You all Mario'd out now?
Yeah, I stopped after Sunshine. It's like I can't take anymore. But I'll get back into Galaxy eventually. Maybe.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know you played ARMS, but yeah.
Did play
I
ARMS.
would totally try that game if I had it.
It's fun. It's like Wii boxing.
Yeah.
But a little more fleshed out. So, if you liked Wii boxing, which I love, by the way, it's fun.
Yeah, I think everybody loved being a little Mike Tyson in the Wii.
Yeah, it was great.
Classic.
What about you? What games did you play in 2020? Mr. Retro.
Well, I'm just so glad that you asked. Despite playing the heck out of some retro games, I beat the most of my games on the Xbox One this year, 2020, last year, including the Castlevania games I'm going to mention because I have the Castlevania collection on Xbox One. But I managed to beat 31 games this year. Pretty solid. I think it was either one more or one less than 2019. I don't remember what that... Oh, I have it right here. No, I don't. Anyways, it was one more or one less. And I'm not going to go through them all, but if you're interested, then you can see them in my story highlight on Instagram. I'm just going to talk about the 10, my favorite ones I played this year. They're not in any particular order, but 10 best ones. Started out the year... No, I did not start the year with it. Trials of Mana, the remake, was a total blast, and I'm definitely going to play that game again. There's a bunch of replayability because you can choose different characters. I think there's... I don't even remember, but you choose a team of 3 in this game, and you can customize your team as much as you want. So I'm going to play the entire game again with different characters. Pokemon Shield, I think, was the first game I finished in 2020, even though it came out in 2019. Absolutely had a blast with that one. I was just playing that one last week, actually. I'm still trying to complete the decks in that one.
Oof, good luck with that.
Didn't you do it?
I did it in Let's Go. Pikachu.
Oh,
okay. Not a
so there's
Sword
only
Shield.
151.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 3, fantastic game. One of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch. Animal Crossing, absolutely loved it. Doom Eternal, 10 out of 10 game. I love it so much. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018, and I finally beat it. This year, 2020. And I didn't play the first game, but I'm really excited to play the first one now. I love the story so much, and it turns out that it's actually a prequel to Red Dead 1, so I'm kind of glad I played it in this order.
Oh, you did the right order then.
Then in October, I played some Castlevania, and I absolutely love Castlevania now. Castlevania 3, fantastic, but super, super hard game. Castlevania 4, one of the best games I've ever played in my 24 years of existence, and I'm definitely going to own that cartridge. I didn't know I needed it until now. I'm going to go get that game complete in box, but we'll talk about that later. Streets of Rage 4, fantastic game for co-op or single player, and Time Splitters Future Perfect on the GameCube, which I also played cooperatively with one of my best friends. So yeah, that's 10 games I beat this year that I'm really freaking glad that I beat because they were a blast. Do you have any games that you didn't like this year? Probably not.
No. No, I did not.
That just kind of came to my head right now. I didn't play any that I regret playing either. But I remember 2019 I played Wario World, and that game was not very good.
Well, actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Yes, I did play a game that I didn't like. It was called Mario Sunshine. But we've already talked about that before. That game is just so unbelievably frustrating. It drives me insane. But I beat it, so I can say that I've played it now, but that was it. I got the minimum amount of stars, and then I'm done. No more. We'll never play it again.
I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you. I know you said they weren't in any particular order, but what would be your favorite game of 2020? Your game of the year. Oh, boy.
The game that I played of the year. Mm-hmm. Castlevania 4, dude. 10 out of 10 game.
Man, you said it's the best game you've played in your life? That's pretty high honor.
No, top 10. I hope I didn't say best game of my life. It's one of them. I think it is a top 10 game that I don't know how I lived this long without playing. It's amazing.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you found that new genre. You only started playing for like the Halloween theme, didn't you? You're like, yeah, let's play some spooky games.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
I mean, they've been on my backlog list of like games I feel like I have to play one day. Then yeah, I finally sat down and started doing it. I don't know why I started doing it out of nowhere. Do you have a number one game?
I do have a number one game. Thank you for asking. And I know it's going to be like, wow, she just picked this one because it's a Zelda game. But my game of the year would be Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Woo!
And I'm going to say, not just because it's a Zelda game, but because I didn't like the first Hyrule Warriors at all. Like, yeah, it was a Zelda game and it had fun characters, but I didn't really like it that much. But Age of Calamity made me like that genre, which I think is something that's kind of amazing, and I think a lot of Zelda fans felt the same way. If a game is so good and I am so interested in it and compelled by the story to keep playing it even though I don't like that game, like that genre of game, I think that's an amazing game. That's my 2020 favorite game.
Well, I guess what you're saying is Age of Calamity is better than Breath of the Wild because you didn't pick Breath of the Wild as your number one game. You heard it here first, folks.
No. I would say... I mean, I love Breath of the Wild, but at this point I was already done with the game. And I think that Breath of the Wild definitely lacks in some things. I think that Age of Calamity definitely brings to the table. So in terms of story and making me like a genre that I've never liked before, I would say yes, Age of Calamity is my number one game of the year.
I'm just messing with you. Wow, I was going to say something and it's gone. The life of a podcaster. All right, well, let's just continue then. I'm so glad that you had a blast with Age of Calamity. What did that game, how well did that game do? Is it like an 8 on IGN or what?
I actually don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure it's pretty good. 8 or 9, maybe 10s. Has to be good.
Interesting. Yeah, I know you're all about story, and I know we talked a lot about it already in the podcast, but yeah. It definitely filled in a lot of gaps, huh?
It did fill in a lot of gaps. Actually, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but not really. It was advertised as something that it's not, but it's still amazing. And if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
No spoilers here on the Unlockable podcast.
No, sir. No spoilers.
Hannah, what do you want to see in 2021? Talk to me.
What do I want to see? Well, boy, that's a really long list. I'm glad you asked. Let me just pull up my list here. Do you want to
talk about realistic crap, and then we'll talk about predictions.
Yes, very realistically. I kind of already talked about this a little bit, and these are in no particular order, again, but I really want to see a Nintendo 64 classic. I'm super salty that Nintendo stopped at the SNES, and they did the NES, and they stopped, and I'm not going to get a Nintendo 64 classic. I'm salty about it.
I don't really know. I can't say that. I know we're not on the predictions section, but I don't know if we're going to see it for Christmas this year or if we're ever going to see it. I don't know.
I have a feeling we're never going to see it. I don't know.
I feel like it would sell amazing.
It would. I don't know why Nintendo hates Nintendo 64. I really don't know. But that's what I definitely want to see. That's my number one. What else do I have? Okay, so this is kind of based off of a rumor that I heard, and I posted about it on my Instagram, but I would love to have a Paper Mario 64 and a Thousand Year Door remake. Or remaster. I'd be happy with the remaster too. But put it in double pack and put it on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, people would love that.
I would love it, and people are saying those are the best two Paper Mario games, so why not put them out onto the Switch so that, people who jumped in with Color Splash or Origami King can play the best in the series.
I think it is only a matter of time. I think Nintendo is really, well, you know what? I'm not going to jump ahead of the podcast, so just keep going. I don't want to say anything.
You want me to keep going? Okay, I don't have that many for wants, though. But I have a lot for predictions.
Okay. Well, mine's flipped.
Oh, okay. So you can go.
Me? Okay. I have a ton of things I would like to see in 2021 for some reason. Probably my number one thing is Square Enix, I know you're listening. I want to see something new with the Mana series. I just don't know what it would be. I think you're done with remakes and ports and whatever. I just want a new Mana game. Please. Mario Kart 9 would be my next one. I think that we are overdue. I don't know. Oh my gosh, dude, we did not mention that new Mario Kart thing.
Oh, you're right. The home circuit.
And we didn't mention, I remember what I was going to say earlier. We didn't mention Hades, which was an indie game that was definitely deserved to be mentioned. I don't know anything about it, but it definitely deserved to be mentioned because it got nominated for Game of the Year. So, round of applause for Hades. But yeah, that game came out. Anyways, Mario Kart 9, I think we're overdue. I don't care about whatever this new virtual thing is that Nintendo just released. It looks great if you're in, elementary. It looks like a great game for young kids, but it's not for me. And I'm ready for Mario Kart 9. It's been, I'm going to say 7 years. I'm going to predict that it's been 7 years without looking it up. I'm thinking 2014.
7 years?
Maybe 2013. Yeah. No, I think 2013 actually, Hannah.
2013? Dang.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
So, why don't you tell me a few more of your wants for 2021?
Okay, a few more of my wants. This one should not be surprising to anyone. I want more amiibo. I want more amiibo, and I want more other than just the Smash ones. Smash ones are great, but I think we need to see some more series of amiibo. So, one that I really, really want, and I've been saying this for a long time, is I'm super salty that the main character from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 got a Smash amiibo, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got a nada, but I would love to see some more amiibo from any company. Honestly, anything, because I'll buy it, even if I don't like the character. Like Banjo Kazooie, have that one pre-ordered, but I'd like some other ones that I like too. That's my next one.
You must have the Super Mario 3D World ones pre-ordered too, then.
I do.
Oh.
Yes, furry cat Mario and Peach and all. So yeah, more amiibo. I mean, I know some are coming out. Obviously, like I said, the Smash ones are coming out this year, and the Super Mario ones. But I want other franchises, like Breath of the Wild 2 is just around the corner. What if, can we get like an updated Zelda? I mean, I don't know if you saw the trailer, but like her hair is cut. It's like a short, cute little cut. Why can't we get an amiibo like that? Or give Link his green glowing hand amiibo. You know, I want more.
Is that game coming out this year?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I do not know. Want me to go again? I got another one.
Oh yeah, go for it. This is a good
one. Okay, here, another one. I think I've talked about this one in our ports video, but this one is Kirby Air Ride 2.
Oh boy.
So I'm going how you don't like necessarily like remakes or remasters, so I want a second one. So I love the fact that they were ambitious enough to make a Kirby game that wasn't a traditional Kirby game. And they do that all the time with like fighters and stuff like that. And Robobot, I don't know if that one was a 2D whatever it's called. Whatever the genre is, they're not afraid to make games that aren't necessarily straight line or mainline Kirby games. So I'd like to see a sequel to Kirby Air Ride 2 from the GameCube. That would be my next one.
You are the only one.
I am not the only one. There's a very small part of the Kirby community that loves those games. I mean, they're fun. Have you ever played? Actually, yeah, you have played them, haven't you?
Oh, I played the only one.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. I don't know how you could see it. I don't know how you could see it either way, honestly.
This is off topic. Do you like the N64 Kirby?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Why?
I was just curious because I know you like the Yoshi story. So.
I do like Yoshi Sword. Yeah, I played Crystal Shard on the collection on the Wii, actually. So I don't play it on the Nintendo 64. But yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
That is something I need in my collection. I forgot about that beautiful Wii collection with the freaking big box.
Oh, it's so pretty. The outside box is so nice looking. They did a real good job on that.
Anyways,
right, your turn.
My turn. You're so kind. So new Yoshi, I would love a new Yoshi game. I absolutely adore Woolly World, and I had a good time with Crafted World. So I would prefer a Woolly World style game because it was just a little bit better than Crafted World. But I will gladly take a sequel, and I will buy that when it gets discounted to like $45. Yeah, I would love a new Yoshi game. 100%. Another one, I think we are due for a new Bomberman game. Now, the Bomberman series really peaked a long time ago, and I don't know, the latest game came out for the 33rd anniversary of Bomberman for some freaking reason. And
we talked about this last time.
It's so they just recently, in the last year, brought back that game. So that game came out in 2017. It's called Super Bomberman R. And then in 2020, Google Stadia got Bomberman R for I'm pretty sure it came out already, but it was different. So you had like a Tetris 99 style of that Bomberman game with like 99 or not 99. Maybe it was like 100 people. It was some crazy number of players for this Bomberman game online, and I haven't heard a single thing about it, probably because I don't talk to anyone that owns a Stadia, but I think that that sounded so harsh. I was just kidding, audience. But anyways, I would love to see that mode brought to other platforms. So like, it should be a free update for like, it's already on the other platforms. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not currently playing this awesome Stadia Bomberman version. Yeah, not words aren't working, but I really want this or a new Bomberman game. Either one.
Man, I guess you need to get a Stadia.
Yeah, Stadia exclusive.
Yeah. Okay, my turn?
Sure.
Okay, so my next one is Pokemon Silver and Gold Remake. Now, I know these were already remade, right, for the DS after coming out on the Game Boy. I know, but Pokemon Silver was my first Pokemon game. Technically my brother's, but I played it anyways. And so I'm obviously nostalgic towards it, and Pokemon games get remade all the time. We just saw it with Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, so I'd like to see a Pokemon Silver Let's Go edition with Lugia on the front, and whatever the gold.
Come on,
What's the
it's
gold
Ho-Oh.
legendary? Oh, okay, whatever. Ho-Oh on the cover.
Man.
I know, I'm sorry, I told you, Silver's my game, but I like to see a Pokemon Let's Go remake of both of those, and just see the Pokemon, like, in the wild, and then you could have Ho-Oh or whatever that rainbow spitting Pokemon is, like, fly over top of you all the time. Oh, how cool would that be?
My instinct when I hear you wanting a game that's already been remade again is to think, oh, that's impossible, but then I think of the fact that the first gen made it to Game Boy Advance and Switch, so yep, it's very possible. It is not off the table.
Yep, they remake Pokemon games like every 5 years. Is there a remake that's out? Maybe even less than that, I don't know. But yeah, I would love that.
People are dying for the Diamond and Pearl remake. I think that'll be a blast.
Yeah, they are.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. Wink, wink. My turn again?
Go for it.
Okay, I also mentioned this one already in our ports video, but I really want a Ys collection, and now that I've played 2 out of the bajillion games there are actually 3 Ys games that are coming to the Switch. So 8, which is already out, right? And Ys Origin, which just came out not that long ago. And they're also having the next one in the Ys series, which is Ys 9, Monster Nox. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to get a whole giant collection on the Ys, of Ys on the Switch.
I don't see why not.
There's already a whole bunch, like, they're all on Steam. I mean, I'm not a game developer, so I don't know how hard it would be to put Steam games on the Switch. But do I think it'll ever happen? Probably not. But could it happen? I mean, maybe. Why not?
I could see it happening.
Please give me all of those Ys games. I'm now addicted to them, but I don't want to spend a gajillion dollars on buying all of them. Because they're not cheap.
No, they are not. Yeah, there's going to be a video about a certain Ys game coming soon to Bird Dog Gaming. But not about a certain Ys game, about... Never mind, we're not going to spoil anything, but just keep an eye out. I'll go. So I think this is pretty out in left field, but I was just talking about Konami's Bomberman game. I would love a new 2D Castlevania game. Now that I am addicted to Castlevania, I mean, all right, I want to see another one come out, but it's more like I want to see Konami care about the series Castlevania other than just the anime. I totally have a ton of 2D Castlevanias left to play, so I shouldn't even be asking for this. I feel like a brat for asking for it, but it would be cool to see a new Castlevania 2-dimensional game come out.
That would be fun. Would you want it on the Switch or Xbox or?
I love achievements so much that I try to get everything cross-platform on anything but Switch, to tell you the truth. But I don't know. That's just how I am. I think if Nintendo had achievements, I would be buying all the cross-platform games on the Switch.
I still don't understand why achievements are such a big deal, but I think that's a discussion for another time. All right.
Yeah, go for it.
My turn? Okay, so I know I've mentioned this one before, but I think it was like in one of our first podcasts, and we'll bring it up again. So we all know that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a port of a Wii U game, right? And the port, well, before it got ported, Mario 8 Deluxe, you could buy the DLC, and it came with Link, and it came with Animal Crossing characters. So Link, you could pick Link as your rider, and then I think Isabelle and maybe some other Animal Crossing ones you could pick as riders, in addition to the Mario characters, obviously. And then they also came with certain lands from, or inspired by, those games. So I think that it would be super duper smart, and I super duper want it, if Nintendo makes what I and other people are calling Nintendo Kart. So it's like Mario Kart, but it has characters from Zelda and Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has the Splatoon Inklings, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
I think they do. So if they made just one giant kart game with Xenoblade Chronicles or F-Zero characters, or basically like a Smash Mario Kart, I think that would be super cool. That's something that I want.
Yeah, that's gotta happen, Nintendo.
I mean, they've kind of already done it with Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, they're almost there.
They teased it a lot, and now I want the real thing.
They would have to name it better than what Sega did. They called it freaking Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. You couldn't call it Mario and Nintendo. That was awful. You would just have to either call it Mario Kart or Nintendo Kart.
Yeah, Nintendo Kart or Mario and Friends Kart. No, I think Nintendo Kart makes a whole lot of sense. All right, I have one more on my list. What about you?
What is yours? Just to yours, because it might be the same one I'm thinking of.
I don't think it is. So the next one on my want list is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I know I already talked about this, but some new information has come up since I mentioned it last time. So data miners actually found Switch controls in the files when they data mined it. So it's either a good thing or a bad thing. And by a good thing, meaning, so they're already planning on doing it, and maybe it just took a little longer to get it running on the Switch. Or bad thing is that they planned on bringing it to the Switch, and then they gave up because it was too hard. But that's what I want. I really want it, and I'm super salty that everyone gets to play it except for me.
You deserve it. Forgot what I was gonna say. Nice. All right.
That's twice now, man. Come on.
Well, I thought you were gonna say what I'm about to say. I would love to see at least an announcement for Astral Chain 2. But I guess you gave that one to me, huh?
I did give that one to you. You're welcome.
Back when we first started this podcast, we were both playing this game, and we both love it. And yeah, Platinum Games, I know you're listening to our very small podcast, and I really appreciate you guys listening, and I can't wait for you to announce Astral Chain 2 in 2021.
Well, they did say in an interview that they always thought of that series as a trilogy. They would love to do a trilogy, and if the first one sold well enough, which I'm pretty sure it did, that they would get right on that. But, they're also behind on Bayonetta 3, so who knows? Who knows what they're working on now. But yeah, I'd like to see that too. I love that game.
That was a fun game with music, a fun story.
The art style, all of it.
Oh, man. I want to play it again. I don't think I beat the chapters after the credits. So maybe I do have a reason to go back. I think there were 12 chapters, but you only had to play through 10 to get to the credits.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think I went back and played them. Did that come out in 2019?
When did we start the podcast? 2018? So I'm thinking no.
Well, it's about time that they did it then.
I think that's an underrated game. I think a lot of people missed out on it, and it still goes for 50 plus.
I know. It came out in 2019, August 30th.
Whoa.
Jesus, August 30th of 2019.
Well, wrong I am.
Wrong you are.
So this next one is a few things in one. I want to announce some more Switch Online games that I want to see. So I was looking through my want list on my app of my collecting app, and I was just like sorted by highest to lowest price, and I was like, what games could I have on NES or Switch, or I'm sorry, NES or SNES online on the Switch that I'll never be able to afford, or I won't be able to afford for 20 years. So Dragon Fighter is a Natsume game for the NES. It's a 2D platformer, and this you get to turn into a dragon. So you're human, but you can also turn into a dragon, and it becomes kind of a shmup. And that game is $350 loose. But I think,
oh my gosh,
I think Natsume and Nintendo are buddy right now or something, because they just have a ton of Natsume games on both NES and SNES online right now. Shadow of the Ninja was a pretty huge one, and the gun game with the Western theme, I forget what it's called.
Wild Guns?
Maybe. No, isn't that the PS1 like game? That? Sunset Riders, is that it?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, I feel awful. But anyways, yeah, so I think that would be cool, and I think it's possible. Really cool game. Powerblade 2, another Natsume-developed title. It is a $500 game loose, and it's another 2D platformer. It kind of reminds me of Mega Man, but looks awesome, and I want it. I want it on Switch Online. A few more.
$500.
Flintstones Surprise at Dinosaur Peak is known for being one of the rarest games on the platform. I'm just a big Flintstones fan. That'll never happen, but I threw it on this list because I want to see it in 2021. Silver Surfer is another one that is probably never going to happen. It's just a licensing thing, but that's a shmup that I've always wanted to try. I need to go ahead and get that cartridge. That's a cool looking game. And I've been in the mood to punish myself lately, and that game is known for being ridiculously hard, so...
Just play another Ninja Gaiden game. Yeah. Or Gaiden game.
The last one I have for NES is The Adventures of Lolo 2 and 3, which they already have the first game on there, so I could totally see them completing the trilogy. Those are fun little puzzle games, and I've never played the sequels before. Super Nintendo, the only thing I wrote down is Super Bomberman, either the first one or the second one. I would love to be able to play this game 4-player without having to use a multi-tap, and I don't actually have the cartridges yet in my collection, so I would just love to play these games. I think they'd be great for parties.
They would probably be fun.
So yeah, that's it for my wants, I think. Let me see. Yep, Square Enix, do something with the Mana series. Platinum Games, do something with Astral Chain, and that's it. That's all I got.
Dang. Are you ready for the most exciting part?
The predictions?
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad you're excited. I have
2021.
I have 3.
You have 3?
Yeah, and one of them's kind of a stretch.
Oh my god, I have like 15. I took this very seriously.
Cool.
So I went back and I did a lot of research, and I analyzed a whole bunch of things that Nintendo's done, especially after pandemics.
You know, the bubonic plague and other things in history.
Yes, I researched all of the post-pandemic world. Yeah, but no, I did do a lot of research, and I've obviously been keeping up with Nintendo for quite a while now. So I think I have this one in the bag. I think at least 5 of these are coming true.
You know what'll be fun is we're going to have to go through all of our predictions and see what actually came true for our 2021 recap episode in about 12 months.
And a whole year from now. Okay, I'm excited. Are you ready?
Hit me with it.
Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure you're ready?
I have 3 and you have 15. I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off strong here, and so basically what I did is I just kind of went down every franchise, and I was like, okay, you know, it's been a while since, you know, something's come out or the latest game's come out, but anyway, I'm starting strong, and I'm gonna do a Zelda prediction. So last year, 2020, was Mario's 35th anniversary, and they did a whole bunch of stuff for it, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking that they're gonna do at least that much, if not more, right? So Mario got a Game & Watch, so why wouldn't they make a Zelda Game & Watch? And then me and actually one of my friends on Instagram, we've been talking about this for a long time. How would a Zelda like 35, like the Battle Royale Mario game, how could that be translated into Legend of Zelda? And I think we kind of cracked the code. So there's two ways. So either it could be a build your own dungeons kind of thing, and then you can play with friends, right? So like, I don't know if you played Link's Awakening, probably not on the Switch,
no.
But there's a portion of the game where you can like make different dungeons.
Okay.
Like you can put, it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm doing my best here. So if you play through the game, you like unlock different dungeon setups, right? And the original dungeons for like the Zelda games, like they're rooms, and you go from room to room to room to room, like the original Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah.
So either it's like a create your own dungeon thing, and you can put enemies and bosses, kind of like Mario Maker, but for dungeons. But if they didn't want to do that, then they can do an entire game set in a dungeon and have it so like the rooms that you go through are completely random, and whoever lasts the longest wins. Because if you play Mario 35, it doesn't end. You just keep going through levels and levels and levels.
Yeah.
But if you have like a procedurally generated dungeon and just see how many rooms you can get through and not die, and whoever makes it to the last, or whoever like doesn't die, wins. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's like a Battle Royale Zelda game. So I think that'd be pretty cool. And same thing with like the enemies. Like if you beat a certain enemy, like it shows up on another person's screen, and if they die, you know they die. And you get like coins or whatever. But I think that would be super cool. And then in terms of games, like physical games, obviously that one would be digital. I have a lot here. So just like the Pokemon company, like Zelda games get remasters and remakes all the time. Obviously, like I just mentioned with Link's Awakening. So I think the first one that's going to come to the Switch, I'm going to say the most likely, but it probably is not, is Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I think that either those are going to be... I don't know if it's going to be the original ones from Nintendo 64, or if they're going to do some sort of port, like, thing of the 3DS titles. I don't know which one it's going to be, but either of those is definitely coming to the Switch.
Definitely.
What do you think?
Definitely, I think.
Definitely you think, okay.
No, that's what you said.
Yeah, definitely I think. Because another one on my list is predictions for 2021 is to have Nintendo 64 games on Nintendo Switch Online. So obviously if that happened, then these games would go on that, and we wouldn't get a collection.
Sure, yeah.
So that's I think I may be. But the next one is a definite. So the next one would be Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. So those were all ported to the Wii U, and they are remastered. Right? It's not a remake. They were remastered and brought to the Wii U.
Right.
And I think it's just no-brainer to put those on the Switch, too. Just upgrade them a little bit more and slap them on the Switch.
So these are your realistic predictions for 2021?
Yes.
No.
These are very realistic. It's Zelda's 35th anniversary. Of course they're going to do something like that.
So you're thinking like a Super Mario 3D All-Stars type deal?
Yeah, some sort. I just don't know if it's going to be Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, if they're going to go that far back, or if they're going to go the more modern ones with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Well, they got to do
so
3 games, right? It's definitely going to be a collection
of some sort. Well, the next one, and I think this one's going to get its own, is Skyward Sword. And I know I've been saying that for forever. It's something that I want, but it is certainly realistic.
I think it's time.
This year is also Twilight Princess's Skyward Sword's 10th anniversary. Because it came out on the Wii on Zelda's 25th anniversary. So it's the 10th anniversary of Skyward Sword by itself. And also, it's one of the only 3D games that's never been remade.
Yeah.
Or remastered, or any sort of thing like that. So I think it's definitely coming, and I think they could definitely integrate motion controls, which we know Nintendo loves to do.
Well, everybody hates the motion controls.
So I think it's happening. I like the motion controls. I thought they were great.
I mean, I'm not speaking from experience, but that seems to be everybody's huge issue with that game.
It's not that the motion controls... It wasn't the motion controls themselves. It was just the way that the hardware worked. Like, they didn't work all the time. But, I mean, with the Switch, that's not a problem.
So,
I've never had my motion controls not work.
can you use motion in Galaxy on the Switch?
I think you can, but I don't think you have to.
Okay. I was just curious.
But don't quote me on that, because I haven't played it.
Well, I think that's what they're going to do with whatever they did on that one. I think they'll do that for the Skyward Sword, which I also believe is coming in 2021.
Yes. I mean, it's time. I don't know why they haven't. And then the next one I'm not going to do because that's kind of a want to. But then the next big one, obviously, for Zelda's 35th is Breath of the Wild 2. Now, I for sure thought that this was going to be a 2020 title. And I don't know if it was going to, like, originally come out in 2020, but then COVID hit and the development was just taking longer and they delayed it because of COVID, or if maybe it was just taking them longer than they thought it would. I don't know. I mean, obviously we'll never know this, but I think it's definitely coming out this year.
That would make for an incredible 2021.
Yeah, it would. And I guess I can just go right into my other one. I think that it's going to launch alongside a revised Nintendo Switch. Or like the Pro version or whatever.
Absolutely.
I think that would make a whole lot of sense. Maybe that's why they delayed it, is because they weren't quite ready to
Yeah, one of them's not ready.
the Switch provision.
That's great. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think you could actually bet money on that one.
I think that's definitely coming. I mean, that's what they did to sell the Switch, and obviously that worked.
That's very true.
The original Switch.
Wow.
So, if they did it with the second one, I mean, I don't know what they call it, a Switch Pro or like a Switch Plus or like a new Switch. I don't know.
Right.
But that's definitely coming at some point, obviously.
The new Nintendo Switch XL 2021.
Yeah. Nintendo XL Plus.
I wrote Switch Pro coming out in 2021 for the holiday season.
Yep, that's exactly what I wrote. It's definitely coming out. I think Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is definitely going to be a holiday title. It'll be later in the year. You're going to let it cook in the oven a little bit longer to make sure that's good. But it's been 4 years. I mean, in 2 months it'll be 4 years since Breath of the Wild came out. And they're using the same engine, the same characters, the same world. So I can see it definitely coming out this year. I don't know why it didn't come out last year, but
that'll be a day one pickup for me. I remember getting my Wii U copy of the first game back on day one.
Day one purchase, yes.
That feels
Me too,
like ages
obviously.
ago.
In 2 months, it'll be 4 years.
Man.
Less than 2 months. 4 whole years. Okay, you want me to keep going?
I only have 2 left now, so yeah, keep going.
Okay, so I've already knocked off revision, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and then a prediction. So I don't think we're going to get a Nintendo 64 Classic, right? I think they're done with the Classic line. But it does make sense that Nintendo 64 games will come to Nintendo Switch Online. I don't see why they would stop at SNES.
I don't have a clue. I mean, I want them. It's just... I honestly, I can't make that prediction, but I'm all for it if it happens.
I think it's definitely coming. I mean, it has to. I don't understand why they wouldn't. If they really want to make their Nintendo Switch Online fans happy. I mean, Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games are great, but like Nintendo 64 is where things get exciting, and I think a lot of people feel nostalgic towards. So if they really want to make them happy, I think they would do it. I don't understand why they would stop at Super Nintendo.
They have to be planning something. I mean, if they're either going to do the N64 Mini or they'll add the Switch games on there. I don't see both happening.
No, yeah, like I said, the Classic's not going to happen. They're done with that. But I think it's definitely possible it comes out Nintendo Switch Online. And then in the same category would be a Game Boy collection or a Game Boy Advance collection or any of those kinds of games. Would be another prediction. I thought it was weird when Game Boy Advance games were on the Virtual Console on the Wii U. I don't know, that she's really out of place to me. But obviously, they're still interested in Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy games, so I think it would make a whole lot of sense for them to do that too.
I don't even think about I don't even think about handheld for this stuff, but it's totally a possibility.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the games are meant to be handheld. The Switch is part handheld. So I definitely predict that coming in 2021. I think it probably would have came out last year. But maybe it's taking longer. I don't know if they'll drip feed us releases or not. Or if they'll just be like, yeah, here's like 20 games right out of the gate.
And you got to think, the Switch only has a few more years left. I mean, the Pro's coming out, and that's kind of like the mid. I don't know. That's like the 60% done part. I feel like of a console's life. I feel like by 2024, it's going to be time for a new console. That would make 7 years, right? Yeah.
Well, Nintendo said they wanted the Switch line to last at least 10 years.
10 years?
I'd say 10 years. They wanted 10 years.
Well, they better bring 4K with that Switch Pro then. Not for me,
Either
but
that,
for everyone else that really cares about it.
Or have like a Switch 2, like instead of a revised one, just like the next one.
Hannah, don't you mean a Switch U?
Yeah. Oh, God. Could you imagine if they did that? You're like, what the heck is this? No, but I could definitely see them doing something like that. Just keeping the Switch name alive. Because where are they going to go from here? They're not going to go just straight back to regular old home consoles.
No one would have predicted a Switch console after the Wii U, so I can't say anything.
That's true. I mean, I should probably not try to predict hardware. Because who knows? All right. Want me to go again? This one might be one off your list too.
In that case, well, let's. I think that in 2021, we should see some Metroid-y stuff that will hold us off until 2022, when the actual blockbuster is going to release, which is Prime 4. I think I could see one of two things happening. We were waiting for... I forget what happened. We got the new the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS a few years ago, and that was pretty amazing. I could see something like that happening for I guess Super Metroid. Like, I don't want that at all, because Super Metroid is a perfect game and it doesn't need a remake or anything, but I don't know. I could see them doing like some kind of Fire Emblem treatment with how they just gave the Fire Emblem fans that Game Boy Advance game brought to the Switch for $5. I could see something like that happening just until Prime 4 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, I am totally going to buy that special edition, like as physical as it gets, even though it's going to be a digital code. I'm going to do that. But yeah, I will predict that. And what I don't think is going to happen is we're going to get a new 2D Metroid game in 2021 to hold us off. I don't see that happening personally.
So just not a new one at all?
No, I doubt it. Hopefully I'm wrong.
That's funny, because that literally was the next thing I was going to say. But I wasn't going to say a remake or anything like that. I was going to say it's been rumored to have already been finished, but it's the Metroid Prime.
Oh, yeah,
the Metroid Prime Trilogy port, or whatever you want to call it, to the Switch. I mean, that's been rumored to have already been done like years ago.
Yeah, I think I meant to write that. You're 100% right. I think that will come out this year for sure.
But I think they're waiting to release it like when Metroid Prime 4 has a little more work done on it and they're ready to show something off. They're like, yeah, we know you've been waiting a long time, but here's a look at Metroid Prime 4, and while you're waiting, here is the trilogy.
Yep, but didn't you tell me last night that this is the 35th anniversary?
It is.
So, I don't know, maybe they'll get that and something... Fire Emblem style treatment as well. I don't know. Maybe they'll go above and beyond for Metroid and Zelda this year. That would would really make for an incredible year for Nintendo.
It would be incredible. Plus Pokemon too.
Yep.
Speaking of Pokemon, it is its 25th anniversary this year. Lots of anniversaries this year.
It's my 25th anniversary of life.
Oh, well, you share that with Pokemon.
I do.
Nice. Okay. So, I know I know that Pokemon has already come out with like this big trailer and whatnot. Did you see it? I can't remember what that's called, but it's like, what is that called? It's like a complex machine, and it's like the ball rolls and hits the dominoes, and the dominoes hits this, and then this moves and that moves. I can't remember what that's called.
Oh, I did see it.
But anyway, it was a really cool trailer, very nostalgic. Had like plush toys and cars and games and all sorts of fun things. But they didn't really give us any announcements. They're just like, yeah, something big is coming, and we're collabing with Katy Perry.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. That's really weird. But I think they're definitely gearing up for something big. And I do have some thoughts on that. So there's been a lot of rumors and supposed leaks about Diamond and Pearl getting remakes. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen any supposed leaks.
Oh, really? Or rumors or whatever. And so now I was speculating that these games would be given the Let's Go treatment like all the other like remakes that we've seen in the past few years. But I didn't realize that people actually liked the Let's Go remakes. Like, I thought I was like in the minority thinking that they were fun.
I thought so too.
No, because the rumors that have been swirling around have said that it's not going to be a Let's Go remake, and it's just going to be a regular remake, and people are disappointed.
Oh my goodness.
And so, I know, and people are getting disappointed because it's not a Let's Go remake. But I didn't think people actually liked the Let's Go remakes. Thought I was a minority there.
Do you have the big box for Let's Go?
I do have the big box, the one that came with the Pokeball controller.
That's awesome.
I do have that one. So yeah, I think that one's definitely coming. I mean, like I said earlier, Pokemon is notorious for remaking games and remastering games and blah 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 blah. And I think that it's about time to do something like that for the 35th anniversary. I think they were just testing the waters with Pokemon Let's Go. Pikachu and Eevee. They're like, all right, do people like this or not? And people are like, nah, we don't like this. They're like, all right, we won't do that then. So basically, there's 3 lines of Pokemon games, right? There's the regular Pokemon games, normal gens. Then there's the Let's Go remakes, and then there's the regular remakes. So it's basically just dividing the fans into like 3. Do you like this way or that way? So apparently nobody's going to be happy. But yeah, I think that's definitely coming. Also on the topic of Pokemon, I would like to see a new Pokemon Puzzle League. I know I should have mentioned this earlier, but I love the Pokemon League games, the puzzle games. And Game Freak releases all sorts of spin-offs and one-offs and whatnot. And we just got Pokemon Snap, obviously, which isn't a mainline game. So I could definitely see them doing another Puzzle League game.
Why? I just wish that we had a freaking eShop or something that had retro games on it, like the Wii U. Man.
Yep. That would be nice.
Because that's a game I could totally see coming to N64 online if it existed.
And yeah, and like actually be able to play online with other people. That would be amazing. Or do a Tetris 99 Battle Royale.
You know what I just thought about? You didn't get that Puyo Puyo Tetris 2? Didn't you like obsess over the first game?
I did obsess over the first game, but the first game is $20 now, so I'm going to wait. Because essentially it's basically just the same game. It's the same mechanics, I think. Just with stuff added on. So I was just going to wait. But yeah, I love that game. Me and my friends love that game.
Nice. Let me do my last one, I guess. I think that it is time for a new Kirby game. But I wrote this before realizing how many freaking anniversaries there were. So, I don't know. If Nintendo is going to be packed with Metroid and Zelda galore and some freaking Pokemon, then I don't know if Kirby will be happening this year. I was thinking that it could be a good possibility, but I don't know. Maybe not. Just a new Kirby 2D platformer, the standard Kirby style. We haven't had one since the ridiculously easy and short Kirby Star Allies.
Yep.
I guess there was that Kirby Battle something. I never tried that one.
Kirby Fighters 2.
Was that on 3DS?
Kirby Fighters 1 was. There's also Kirby Battle Royale or something.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So like I said, they make a lot of spin-offs and stuff.
Yeah. That's it for my predictions, though. What else you got?
That's it? Okay, well that one was also on my list.
Ooh.
some kind of Kirby game. Same reasoning that you gave. The last mainline Kirby game that we got was Kirby Star Allies, and Kirby and Yoshi, I guess, both together are not budget titles, but they're Nintendo's budget titles. Does that make sense?
I'm with that, yeah.
Like they're not the AAA Zeldas or the Marios, so they come out more often. And so I know Kirby Fighters 2 just came out, but that didn't get a physical release. That was like a budget title of a budget title.
That's a really good way to put it.
So the last Kirby Star Allies came out in March of 2018. So 3 years. I think a Kirby game is definitely right around the corner. My hope for it, though, is that it's a little more challenging. Or at least has an easy mode and a harder mode than Kirby Star Allies. I beat that in like 2 hours.
I remember texting you back and forth about that game back in the day, man. That was like 3 years ago now.
That was a long time ago.
But yeah, that was way too easy. I had fun with it, but it was just too short.
It was very short. And then, kind of on the same line, like I just mentioned, is Yoshi. Yoshi's Crafted World came out in March of 2019. So it's been 2 years. So one might come out this year, but it'll just be like a budget title. Like I said, maybe even a budget of a budget title. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to see something from that series. For sure.
Nice.
Alright, what else do I have? Okay, this is kind of a big one. My next one is Super Mario Odyssey 2. I think that the Cappy and Mario duo was way too beloved and popular to get rid of. I think it'll be a sequel, obviously, like they did with Galaxy and Galaxy 2. And I think it was probably supposed to come out this year, but COVID messed it up a lot. So it's coming out this year now. I mean last year, sorry. But it's coming out this year.
So you don't think it's just being announced? You think it's fully coming out?
I think it's fully coming out. Whenever Nintendo decides to do like their big, not direct, but just like what we're doing for this year, I think it's going to be like, hey, it's coming out.
Dude, if half of the things that are on your list happen this year, it's going to be an insane year.
I think it has to be because 2020 was just so meh.
Yeah.
And I think they had more plans for things. They just got messed up. But I could see this just being an announcement too. Like Zelda taking this year and they'd be like, hey, Mario Odyssey 2 is coming out sometime next year. I could see that too.
Yeah, I would probably cry if that happened. I would just love that so much. What an amazing game.
Yeah, we're definitely... I mean, I loved it too. I mean, millions of people loved it. It's one of the best-selling Switch games.
Absolutely.
But the Cappy mechanic is just so fun to get rid of. I just think that they have to do another one. Just set a different land or whatever. I think that one's definitely coming. If not announced, or we're going to see something Mario-related. I think 3D World was just to tie us over until the next big Mario game comes out. And then the next I have a new Donkey Kong game.
Wow.
Yes.
You got all the big guns out right now.
That's what I said, but I did a lot of research. So the last game that came out obviously was Tropical Freeze, and that's a port of a game that was released on the Wii U.
2014?
So obviously, something like that, yeah. I think it was 2014. We did 2014 or 2015. I can't remember. I didn't write it down like a dum-dum. But anyway, it's been a while since the Donkey Kong game has come out. And they just released all the Donkey Kong Country games onto Nintendo Switch Online. So obviously there's an audience for it. So I think that Rare and whoever else worked on the Donkey Kong games has to be working on something.
It's not
Rare. Because Rare's not working on nothing.
It's
Retro
Studios.
That's what I meant.
Okay, good.
Retro Studios. I have that written down. I promise. But Retro Studios has to be working on something.
Yeah, they're working on Metroid Prime 4. You might have heard of it.
I have heard of it, but that's not the only thing they're working on. Gotta be doing something else. I mean, the company's huge, isn't it? It's got a bunch of people.
I don't know, but they're only about 2.5 hours away from me, so maybe I should go get a tour of that place sometime.
Yeah, you should. Meet some of the developers. Anyway, I think a Donkey Kong game is definitely coming. I mean, the Switch can't go its whole lifetime without having an exclusive Donkey Kong game.
Well, I think that we went... I don't know. Donkey Kong isn't like I don't feel like it's something that has to be on every console. I don't know why I feel that way, because really the only console that didn't have it was the GameCube. So, the GameCube had like 3 Donkey Kongs, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it had Donkey Konga games.
Yeah, and the Jungle Beat. I don't know. Guess you're making a good point. I'm gonna say no. I'm going to say not 2021, but that would be amazing.
Or maybe at least announced. We have to see something from Donkey Kong, though. At some point. And then I think this one's a no-brainer, is we're going to see some kind of budget title like 1-2 Switch or like Nintendo Land or like Clubhouse games that just came out.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo always likes to throw in their budget titles.
Budgety budget.
Yeah, the budget of the budget. But yeah, I really liked Nintendo Land on the Wii U. I've talked about this a lot, so I'd like to see like a Nintendo Land 2 or like a Switch Land or something, or a Switch It Up Land or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely coming out. Or it could even be another Labo set.
Forgot all about Labo.
Yeah, so some kind of budget title for sure.
Do you think that Mario Kart game was a budget title?
Yes and no, because obviously it took a lot of research and development and technology to make it work, and it's also a Mario Kart game. But also yes, because it's not like a full fleshed out Mario Kart game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's budget because it's not the main line, but it's not budget because it costs like $100.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, I have 2 more. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is some kind of Mario sports title.
Oh, that would be so fun.
The last sports title that we got was Mario Tennis Aces, and it came out in mid-2018. I don't know the exact date. And Nintendo just bought Next Level Games, who is the company that worked on Super Mario Strikers.
Yes.
So, it could be a new Mario baseball game, or maybe a golf game.
I guess the only thing that is ruled out completely is tennis. I could see a soccer coming.
Or soccer. I didn't even think of soccer. Yep. Some sports title of some sort.
That'd be cool as heck.
That would be neat.
I love every sports title that I've played. I mean, Strikers on GameCube and golf is always fun. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love tennis. I didn't play the actual game, but I played like the demo or like the whatever it was called, like a test serve or test server or something
yeah.
or other. I don't know what they called it, but yeah, I played that. It was really fun. And it had a good story mode too, I heard. And then last but not least, for games that are coming out in 2021 is Super Mario Party 2.
Woo!
I know how you feel about that one.
I won't even go into it, but I hope it's better.
So, despite people's negative feelings like yourself, it did sell incredibly well, and I'm pretty sure it's in the top 10 best-selling Switch games.
Oh, wow.
So I can see them continuing it. I mean, me and my roommate had a lot of fun with this game. The mini games are amazing.
I have a blast with this game every time I play it, but it has its downsides.
Yeah, I mean, the boards are boring, and there's not a lot of items, and blah, blah, blah. But the mini games and the way that they incorporate the motion controls on the Switch is just, it's genius.
True.
It's so much fun.
Yep.
I think my favorite one is the one where you have to flip the meat in the skillet in the pan.
I know what you're talking about.
I think that one's so fun. I think that one's so fun.
Yeah, like I didn't play 1-2 Switch, but I imagine the Joy-Cons can really be used for, like, I imagine they can really do a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, they can. And I like their motion controls, despite what other people think. Alright, and then I have some, like, announcements and some prediction ports and stuff like that. You want me to say those too?
Of course.
Okay, so I have a whole category here for just announcements of 2020. So not release dates or anything like that. It's just, well, it could be release dates. So announcements 2021 is like they're announced in 2021, but they're coming out in later dates.
Sure, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so since it's Metroid Prime's 35th anniversary, I think we're definitely getting an update on the game. I'm going to assume either 2022 or 2023 release date.
Yeah, I mean, they're seeing Amazon listings pop up right now for December 31st, 2022. So, I don't know. I just feel like it's coming out next year.
Yeah, definitely not this year. Next would be whatever Monolith Soft is working on next. Hopefully either a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game or a Xenoblade Chronicles X2 game. Hopefully 3, because I really like that one. But they got to be working on something. I mean, I guess they can be working on Breath of the Wild 2, because they did like the scenery and everything like that. I don't know if you knew that, but they worked on like the rocks and the trees and the mountains and everything like that. So they could be working on that. I know they're not a super huge team, but they got to be working on something else in the background. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition just came out, so they got to be working on something. And then I also did new Smash character reveals. I think.
Oh yeah.
It's a safe bet that we're either getting Crash or Spyro from Activision. What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of want to hear what else you have to say before I say yes or no. Do you have more?
I have more, yeah. So, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 characters. I'm so salty about that one, and I'm going to keep predicting them until they say there's no more. And then the last one is the twins from Astral Chain.
Oh, yeah, the Nintendo IP right there.
Mm-hmm. And then I put Master Chief just as like an honorable mention. I don't think that'll ever happen, but Microsoft and Nintendo are pretty chummy, so.
I guess out of the ones you just said, I'm thinking Crash or Spyro would be most likely.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
I would like Spyro. I'm a big Spyro fan.
I could see Astral Chain characters being added and like no one knowing who they are, though. Kind of like half the Fire Emblem cast. I just really don't feel like many people played Astral Chain.
Yeah, but if they're added to Smash, don't you think that would cause a lot more traffic?
Absolutely,
to Astral Chain?
I didn't mean it in a negative way.
But those are my predictions. Oh, and then I have one more. So I think we're getting news about Bayonetta 2.
3?
That's what I meant. Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3, and I think it's going to come out in 2022 or later. The studio behind the game, which is Platinum Games, said that development, and I quote, "Development is going smoothly and they can't wait to share news about the game in the future." So, I think we're definitely getting news this year, but I don't think it's going to come out this year.
That has been so long. I'm going to say it's coming out this year.
You think so?
I do.
Alright. It might.
Astral Chain 2, 2022.
Yeah, baby. I love Astral Chain. And then the next thing I have is ports. And we're kind of down to the last on ports of Wii U games, but it would be Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think since Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition came over, or Xenoblade Chronicles came over and was called Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, I think that's maybe what Monolith Soft could be working on. I hope it's a new game and not X, but I haven't played X, so I guess I really shouldn't say. But that's like one of the last Wii U games that hasn't been ported over.
The way you talk about this freaking series makes me want to give it another shot. Like, I've already tried twice, and I just can't, but like you and one of my closest friends, Brendan, is a big fan of the Xenoblade games. He just recently got into them, and he's loving it. And
they're so good. 2 is definitely better than 1, and anyone can fight me about that. I'll fight you any day about that. But they're so good. Like, there's very few games that actually make me cry at the end. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was one of those games.
Dang.
Actually cried. Like, boo-hoo, lots of tears cried.
I do think X will come to the Switch. I think it has to.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of the only Wii U games that hasn't been ported. And then the last thing I have is some, like, indie and or third-party games. So I have Astral Chain 2 will be announced or hinted at or be like, oh, now it's in development. And then I think Fall Guys is definitely coming to the Switch. I think it's definitely too popular not to. And then I think that Cuphead is finally going to get a physical release announced because they said they're going to do a physical once all the DLC is out, and I believe the DLC is all out.
Man, I don't know what's going on with Cuphead. It's been years.
And then the next one is Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero. Those have been confirmed to be a thing, but like I don't think they have a release date or anything like that. Or maybe they do. I don't know, but I would like to see physicals of the games. And then the next one is Shin Megami Tensei 5, which was announced when the Switch was announced. And we've seen nothing on it.
Isn't it 5S or what is it? It's like something's been confirmed. Oh no, I'm thinking of Persona 5 Strikers.
Yeah, it's a different. That's a different game in the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Right. Well, cool. I think I seriously want to come back next year and see what you got right.
Hopefully, I got some of these things right. I think I'm good on the Zelda stuff. I think all of those things are gonna go true.
Yep, it sounds like I didn't take the predictions section serious enough. Because
I took it very seriously.
You're about to freaking gamble on them out here.
You're darn right.
Well, nice. Let's finish this up here. We got games coming in 2021 / things to look forward to. So we mentioned Scott Pilgrim earlier. That is out now as of January 22nd. It came out on the 14th. And it was a pretty huge deal. This is kind of going back into what we were talking about in our last few episodes about limited print companies and, keeping physical media alive and stuff. It was a big deal that this game came out and that it came out physically. This was removed from stores, digital shops for years, I think. Or, I don't remember the full story, but it's coming out on limited run games. So no matter what, this game is going to be playable for the rest of time, even if there are only X amount of copies in existence because it's a limited print game. But, it's a big deal. And that kind of, I don't know, it's a really big deal. I'm just going to leave it at that. But we have a list of confirmed relevant games here. We have 12 that we thought we would mention. So, big things to look forward to. If you haven't picked up Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, it is time for you to pick it up on the Switch because it is a 10 out of 10 game. I live by that statement. And definitely a big deal. This was announced at the Game Awards. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Looks like a brand new game, and that's pretty neat. Capcom title, classic NES game. Being brought back to life. Monster Hunter Rise is coming to Switch, right?
Yes, it is a Switch exclusive.
Nice. I know there's a Monster Hunter movie coming out soon. Not sure how I feel about that since I haven't played any of the games.
I think it's already out.
Oh my gosh.
It's doing well.
New Pokemon Snap is coming out, and that is the name, just like New Super Mario Brothers. That's April 30th, I believe. And then we got Resident Evil Village, or Resident Evil 8, which there was a demo or some kind of news in the last few days, and it's looking horrifying. We have Yakuza Remastered Collection coming out, Persona 5 Strikers, the Neo Collection, Bravely Default 2, Little Nightmares 2, and the Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake. Please, for the love of God, give me some kind of Rayman news, Ubisoft. I didn't even throw it in my predictions because I know better. And the last one on here, Ys 9.
Monstrum Nox, yes. How exciting.
Alright. Well, I think that's it, Hannah.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Let's make sure we didn't skip anything because we can't come back.
It's true.
Alright, I'm good. You good?
I am good. All set.
I just wanted to mention that I am streaming on YouTube once in a while. I'm not going to go to Twitch right now because I just have, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I figured why start at 0 on Twitch. But yeah, turn on YouTube notifications and come hang out with me. I've played Castlevania, and I think that's all I've played so far. Like a couple of different Castlevania games on stream so far. But yeah, hit the bell bell icon to turn on notifications. It's clear that I don't say that a lot on the end of my videos. I will be changing my Instagram name to @BirdDogGaming finally. So hopefully by the time this podcast is up, I will have already done it. So yeah, Facebook has already been changed to BirdDogGaming. And yeah, so anytime you search up That Gamer Nerd on Instagram, you'll find like an account that is called That Gamer Nerd, but it's going to have a link to @BirdDogGaming, which will be the new name of my Instagram. So yeah, that's cool. And
what a good idea.
Oh yeah, and there's a shut up. And there's a new BirdDogGaming logo. That's pretty neat. So I'm going to make new merch for those of you that are interested, and I'm going to probably remove the old merchandise, I'm pretty sure. So if you're interested in the older hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, all that crap, then yeah, you got to get it soon. Probably going to change our Unlockable podcast stickers as well, so those won't last much longer. But if you want that vintage OG stuff, you got to get it now. And last thing,
limited edition.
Absolutely. Last thing, podcast is available. The Unlockable podcast is available on tons of platforms. So if you're listening to this on YouTube and you just don't like having your phone screen unlocked for the entirety of the podcast, then go check it out on whatever you want to hear it on. We got Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and yeah, Anchor, everything else. You got anything you want to plug, Hannah?
Do I have anything I want to plug? Well, my Instagram, GameGirlDance SP. I got a new logo, but it's the same me. So yeah.
Was that this year?
That was this year. Yes, it was a few days ago. Actually.
I love it. It's super cool.
Thank you. I designed it myself.
So don't freak out when you don't see the light blue background, guys. It's still her.
Yep.
And yeah, we're gonna end this podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Yeah, that's episode 12. We'll see you in episode 13. Thanks.
See ya.